Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, July Wellness. Um, Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about stomach problems. Um, so I have a friend who she was telling me about one of her friends who is dealing with a situation where she's experiencing quite a bit of pain and discomfort, and she has episodes every now and then um, due to what her doctors told her was a hole in her stomach. The thing I do when I attempt to help someone is I ask a lot of questions that could perhaps lead me to where the problem originated, what aggravates it, um, things like what the person may have been eating, um, if they had been on any meds prior, and also, too, obviously, whatever their doctor diagnosed them with. And of course, family history, a little bit of background. So yeah, I had a chance to speak with her and ask um, those questions, and I got answers to most of them. But sometimes it can be a bit confusing when people don't really know exactly what's going on or why they are having the problem that they're having. So I just wanted to do this video because I wanted to explain the research that I've done um, from her particular problem, as well as just in general from the things that I've learned over the years from my research. Um, when you have gastrointestinal problems, basically it comes from one of a few things: from what you've ingested, what you've taken in orally, also, which includes not just food, but meds, synthetic medications, um, things that may have happened to you, like trauma in your life, um, physical as well as emotional. Um, and of course, any prior surgeries, things of that nature. So once you get a chance to, or with a process of elimination, you may come to a point where typically it's just the foods that they're eating and habits that they're practicing when it comes to foods and dietary habits. So one thing that I explained to this young lady is the body is not as complex as it seems. I think I compared it in a prior video to like a balloon. If you put water into a balloon, it'll expand. And depending on how much water you put in it, it will, hold the water. If you overfill it, of course, you're going to have problems. It may burst. But yeah, now let's say you pour the water out, and let's say you put sand in. Sand has a tendency to be rough. What type of foods are you putting in your body? Are you putting in junk food? Are you putting in fruits and vegetables? Junk food is one thing. We know that if you put something extremely rough with sharp edges, um, or attempt to do that to the balloon, you're going to, it's gonna rupture. So the same thing with your body. Depending on what you put in your body, into your digestive tract, you could cause ulcers and inflammation. So really, you just have to be conscious of what you're doing, what you're putting in your mouth. Um, and we even think that we're safe sometimes with just fruits and vegetables. But nowadays, because we are dealing with GMOs and pesticides and whatever else, it's not necessarily true that we're going to be fine. Our bodies are going to be fine with just fruits and vegetables. So when you couple that with, like I said, medications or trauma or, whatever you may have had happen to you, along with, what I'm going to say, right? Elimination. That's all I talk about. Along with elimination. If you, I don't even know how many times it's like I talk about it in every video. If you don't eliminate regularly, you're going to have problems. And especially if you are stretching out your digestive tract because of the simple fact that you may have not detoxed, maybe ever. I have a friend who told me she never detoxed. I was like, are you serious? Like, how are you existing right now? So, yeah, but imagine if you did all that to the balloon and it never, you never washed away any of the debris and you just keep refilling it and stuff. You can just imagine what it might look like on the inside, right? Kind of like our pipes in our homes when years of erosion happens, you end up, having problems with your plumbing. So same thing with your body. You have to keep your body cleaned out. And when you don't, you're going to start having problems and ruptures and inflammation, ulcers, all kinds of problems. Because right now we're solely talking about the digestive tract. But there was something that I mentioned that I wanted to elaborate on a little bit. Oh, yeah, if you never detox. I was talking to another friend of mine who was a classmate, and she helped me to appreciate that marshmallow root is a good herb for inflammation and for ulcers and things like that. So thank you for that, Sharon. I appreciate your help so much. But anyway, yeah, so when detoxing, if you detox, depending on your age and depending on whether or not this is something that you do routinely in your life, there's a possibility you may open up Pandora's box. So when detoxing, it's important to do it properly. And that's where a lot of people have problems. And I'm really not sure yet with the young lady that I'm helping. I have to get a little bit more information from her. But if you have years and years of buildup of toxins in your cells, in your organs, all over your body, it's just like you're gonna end up looking just like a cluttered house from the inside out. Inside your body, there's no place for all those toxins to go. And so your body begins to store the toxins wherever it can. You have certain organs designed for storage like that. But like when you keep adding on and keep adding on and keep adding on the toxins, eventually your body is, it's going to start to try to expel these toxins. So if it hasn't gotten to that point yet and you begin to do a detox, it's possible that you may kind of like, start pulling things out from, of course, most recent times. And then as it goes back further and further, years and years, to try and pull out some of those toxins and release them. Maybe they are the type of free radicals that could be cancerous, and cause you to have benign areas in your body, tissue, tumors, or whatever. Whatever the case, you just want to be careful when you're detoxing. It's a process, and you really need to know what you're doing. I can give you some recommendations if you're interested in doing a detox. I've read a couple books about it, and I've been researching it for quite some time now. But yeah, I like to use illustrations. So when you think about, let's say, that balloon, if you put too many, too much of anything in that balloon, even when you try to expel it from the balloon, you're going to have problems. The balloon is either going to burst, or you're going to cause enough damage to it where it's going to probably have a whole lot of fine slivers in it until it does, crack open and burst. So yeah, it's the same thing with your body and with the toxins. I hope this is making sense to you. I would say you can't go wrong if you stay hydrated. And when you hydrate your body, make sure you hydrate properly. You don't want to you can't hydrate with sodas and juices and things like that. You're just piling on, sugars and things that'll harm you. So you want to drink, what is the recommendation? I believe it's spring water, or is it? No, I know for sure distilled water is good because there's no additives. Some people choose to drink alkaline water. That's not so bad. But what I like to do with my water, to make it more effective for hydrating my body and for purifying my body, cleansing my body, I like to add Celtic sea salt to my water. Or sometimes I'll add lemon to my water. I'll just slice it up and put little slices of lemon in there. And you can also put mint and cucumber. Not only is it tasty, but it's extremely detoxifying. So you can't go wrong if you stay hydrated and if you eliminate often. But like I said, be careful when you're detoxing. And one of my recommendations is for in terms of making sure that you detox properly is a book by Arnold Ehret, Professor Arnold Ehret. His last name is Ehret. And I would say the Mucusless Diet is very informative. It teaches you the root of all disease and how to remedy those things for yourselves. And it's a lot more simple than a lot of people may think. So, which kind of brings me to the whole thought of fasting. When you get sick, it's hard to eat. And the reason why it's hard to eat is because your body is signaling you to stop and relax and let it do its job. It cannot perform all the necessary processes that it needs to perform if you're going to be stopping it in its tracks and forcing it to digest new food. I think in one of the books that I read, it talks about how animals, when they get sick, like your pet dog, it may retreat into its little doggy house when it's sick and it won't come out until it feels better. And this could be days. You could be trying to put food near your dog or water near your dog. They're not going to really do anything with it while they're sick. But once they've healed and gotten better, then they're back to normal. Well, see, that's what our pain indicators are for. They alert you to do something. So most of the time when you're in pain, you become fearful of eating anything, and there's a reason for that. So yeah, that's one of the books that I recommend. Also, another book that I recommend, you can find on Amazon, and it is called, what is it? Let's see. It's The Layman's Guide to Fasting and Losing Weight. If you look that up, I think the author is William. Is it William? I think his last name is Partee, P-A-R-T-E-E, something like that. But anyway, if you need more information, just shoot me a message. But I hope this information has been helpful or maybe provided some sort of guidance. If you like the information, please like the video. And I'd love to hear your thoughts. Please comment. I am coming out with a new herbal line. And if there's anything that I could personally help you with, usually it's something that most people need help with, and I will be happy to provide a product in your behalf. So yeah, so don't forget to like and also subscribe if you're new to the channel. And please leave your comments below.